Did you know that the words we hold back often weigh more heavily than the words we speak? Welcome to Senior Life, Joy, and Wellness. Today, we open up a topic every one of us has experienced: the 5 biggest regrets about things left unsaid to loved ones. This is a lesson in emotional courage, about realizing that silence is not strength. Silence is the biggest burden we create for ourselves. We are committed to bringing you the most useful and engaging content for your golden years. Your support with a like, a share, and a subscription is the biggest motivation for us to continue building videos that can change your quality of life. This is the story of Mrs. Claire, 78, a former counselor living in Boston, USA. Claire was always the composed, rational woman who believed actions spoke louder than words. She recently suffered the greatest loss. Her husband, Mr. George, passed away after a sudden illness. Now, Claire sits in her large house facing a painful truth. The conversations they had were not enough. It was the conversations they postponed that haunted her. After George's death, Claire didn't regret the trips they hadn't taken or the items they hadn't bought. She regretted the moments she chose rigidity over vulnerability, the times she assumed instead of affirmed. That regret was a psychological burden she couldn't shed. According to experts in behavioral psychology, regrets of inaction often cause more prolonged distress than regrets of action. We can forgive mistakes, but we cannot forgive lost opportunities. Claire decided to turn her pain into a lesson, analyzing the 5 most important things she wished she had said while she still could. 5. Sincere regrets about what was left unsaid. Regret no one. I forgive you. This was her biggest regret with her late husband. George and Claire had a small, meaningless argument about a poor investment decision years ago. The incident passed, but Claire never explicitly said, I forgive you. She let the matter fade into silence, believing George understood. The lesson of letting go, withholding forgiveness, is like holding a hot coaler. Only person you hurt is yourself. Marital psychology studies show that verbalizing forgiveness is an act of emotional release, helping both parties reduce stress and cleanse the relationship environment. Claire realized she denied George the opportunity to be free from guilt and denied their relationship the chance to end in complete peace. Regret no. 2. I need you. This regret involved Claire's estranged sister, whom she had been distant from due to old misunderstandings. Claire always presented herself as strong, independent, and self-sufficient. When George became seriously ill, Claire took on all the burdens herself. The lesson of vulnerability: Claire realized that saying I need you is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of trust and the deepest connection. She had prevented her sister from demonstrating love and care, and she had endured loneliness unnecessarily. Accepting help and admitting vulnerability is the only way to build lasting relationships in old age. True strength lies in daring to open up. Regret no. 3. I appreciate you. This regret involved their only son. Her son was struggling with work pressure and fatherhood responsibilities. Claire saw his stress, but instead of saying, I see how hard you are trying, she offered rigid, practical advice. The lesson of validation: what her son truly needed was not a solution, but emotional validation. He needed to feel seen and heard. Saying, I understand, is an emotional bridge, a way of saying, you are not alone in your pain. Claire realized those words could have lightened her son's burden and strengthened their bond beyond the role of an advisor. Regret no. For thank you for the small things. This regret circled back to George. Claire realized George did many small daily things for her: making coffee every morning, fixing things around the house, remembering her favorite movies. She accepted these acts as a natural part of married life. The lesson of proactive gratitude: gratitude cannot be assumed. It must be expressed actively and specifically. Saying, thank you for making my coffee this morning. It makes my day so much better, holds more relational reinforcement value than a generic thanks. According to positive psychology, frequent expression of gratitude boosts the quality of life and longevity for both the giver and the receiver. Claire missed thousands of opportunities to nourish their love with small, powerful words. Regret no. 5. I love you. More often, Claire and George knew they loved each other, but they rarely vocalized it. They believed their love was ingrained after 30 years together. The lesson of repetition: there is no such thing as too much love. The words I love you are not just an affirmation of feeling. They are a mental reminder to both parties of the relationship's value. In the final years, as physical intimacy declines, these words become the sole foundation of closeness. Claire realized she could never regret saying I love you too many times, only too few. After Claire articulated these 5 regrets, a feeling of painful liberation washed over her. She couldn't turn back time with George, but she could change how she treated her remaining loved ones. She decided to turn her pain into a priority. From now on, she would choose vulnerability over rigidity. Her first action was sending a long letter to her estranged sister, beginning with the sentence, "Sister, I really need you." That act healed 50 years of distance in a single day. Claire's biggest lesson. Living without regret is not about living perfectly. It's about living with emotional courage, daring to speak the difficult words, the words of love, and the words of forgiveness, the moment you still have the chance. Do not let the hourglass of time run out, leaving you with the heavy burden of unspoken words. Will you say thank you to someone, or I forgive you to someone in the next 24 hours? How many times have you said I love you today? If you found peace in this message, please hit like to spread the message. And subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together.